Hey, teacups, it's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me tonight are Teacup affiliates, Ples.
Hey,
Hey, sis, you got the twist, looking all cute.
thank you. I needed a break, so
What's the lip color of the day?
it is a liquid high shine lipstick from Wet n Wild called Taffy Tantrum.
Ooh, I like it.
hmm
Give me
Nice
that lip again,
bubblegum pink.
girl. Give me that lip again. I like it. Yes, yes. We have the bishop in the building. Hey, bishop.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, good. And joining us tonight is Teacup affiliate Marcella. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Hey, sister girl.
Get
Hey.
ready for the hot tea.
Schoolboy is taking the evening off. All right, but we're going to get into some things, okay? First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, bang that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. And while you're at it, you might as well go on and hit the like button. Teacups, on the agenda tonight, T.I. and Tiny's accuser, Sabrina Peterson, is now pulling Kandi Burruss, Toya Wright, and Lauren London into T.I. and Tiny's sex trafficking scandal. Let's get into it.
A website called All About the Tea.
She told All About the Tea that during the fight,
All right, y'all. Oh my God. This T.I. and Tiny sex trafficking scandal gets deeper and darker every single day. It's something new popping up. Just to bring everyone up to speed, Sabrina Peterson is Tiny's former best friend who recently came forward to accuse T.I. of pulling a gun on her and threatening her life. Sabrina posted her side of the story on social media, and the very next day, dozens of women came forward sharing their stories of abuse at the hands of T.I. and Tiny. They've been accused of sex trafficking these women and minors, forcing them to do narcotics, and then engaging in sexual acts against their will. The panel and I covered the allegations extensively. Okay, we have two previous videos on this channel, and we go deep. I advise if you haven't seen those videos after this live is over, go back and look at them because we covered a lot and you missed a lot of information as well as victim statements. So now, famed attorney to the stars, Lisa Bloom, has entered the chat. She is now representing one of the victims. Okay, I'm going to pull up this tweet where she confirms that she is indeed representing one of the victims. See, it says here, she actually retweeted someone on Twitter that said victims of T.I. and Tiny are speaking out. Almost all their stories are identical and they involve drugs, coercion, and rape. And then Lisa added her quote and she says, "Good Lord, so many accusers." And then she responded to the tweet and says, "And now I represent one of them." Oh my goodness. Ples, you have those tweets. I'm going to pull them up here on the screen. And if you can you actually the victim statements that were included in the tweet, if you can read them, can you see that, Ples? Okay.
Okay, so the person alleges in 2016 during CIAA in Charlotte, I went to their suite at the Ritz and they locked everyone's phones up, passed around Molly/Coke, said the only people who could stay had to take their pants off. I was so lucky because my homeboy Troy was there, part of Tip's entourage. and he pulled me into another room to smoke and told Tip, like, she good, meaning don't bother her. I watched him drag girls back and forth from the bedroom to the bathroom to the living room. One girl was crying because she wanted to leave, but they refused to give her her phone to call an Uber. At one point, he came out of the room and asked his security to come pick this bitch up off the bed because the girl was too fucked up to even walk. They carried her from the bedroom to the bathtub and left her there. I snuck into the bathroom to make sure the girl was okay, and she was almost unconscious. I'm a nurse, so I checked her pulse. Next. I'm a nurse, so I checked her pulse, which was barely there, and she was sweating/shivering. I left that night 5 years ago, and it still haunts me to this day, wondering what happened to those girls and if I could have done anything to stop it or help them. He is an absolute monster who uses money and power to manipulate people, and Tiny is his secret weapon. The ish is truly, truly sickening.
All right, y'all. Okay, so that was the victim statement that famed attorney Lisa Bloom retweeted. And now on to the juiciest part of tonight's tea, because I know y'all are here for it. You've been waiting for it. Like I said in the title, Kandi Burruss. Okay, there she is right there. Kandi Burruss. Lauren London and Toya Wright are now all being pulled into this sex trafficking scandal. And the statements were made by Sabrina Peterson in a video, which I'll play now for you. Everyone, are you all paying attention? Is everyone listening? Okay, I need y'all to pay close attention.
No, to this day, no, like, so don't. T.I. can't fucking speak for me, bitch. Keisha. Like, as many fucking pills that he done forced down bitches' throats and this and third. Like he done victimized so many women in Atlanta. So many women have been victimized by T.I. in Atlanta. Don't let me start this conversation. Don't let me even start that conversation. Don't let me begin this conversation. So many black women have been victimized by Clifford Harris in the city of Atlanta. But I'm one of the dumbass black women that kept my motherfucking mouth shut for over a decade. For over a decade. Toya knows what happened. Kandi knows what happened. Shakana knows what happened. Tiny knows what happened. Everybody knows what the fuck happened. And I dare every one of you bitches to tell the story wrong because you know what's going to happen. And that's on God. You know how I'm coming for you. And you know He's not going to protect you. So don't ever tell the story wrong. Don't ever tell the story wrong. You know what happened. Lauren London knows what happened. All y'all know what the fuck happened. But y'all all simultaneously try to like, oh, Sabrina's crazy, paint a narrative, this, that, and third, this, that, and third. That's what people do. That's why it's hard to be a black woman. It's hard to be a black woman and a victim. This is why it's so hard to be a black woman that has been raped, that has been victimized, that has been assaulted, that has been anything.
All right, please sound off on Sabrina's new allegations pulling into this drama, Kandi Burruss, which is not a name that we haven't heard connected to this. Toya Wright, Lauren London, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's unfortunate. I just really want it's unclear what she's saying they knew about. Is she saying they knew about him pulling a gun on her? Which I don't disbelieve. Or is she claiming that they knew about all the sexual assault victims that are coming forth? Because to my knowledge, I don't think Sabrina has said that he assaulted her. Only that all of these other women are now coming forward and women have been victimized. Look, victimization comes in a lot of different ways. Assault, she's claiming bodily assault with a gun. And then you have sexual assault. So, either way, if they knew about him pulling a gun on her and didn't say anything, it's kind of foul. But what I'm more concerned with are the sexual assault victims.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people who need to be heard. Those are the people who need justice. If she wants to get justice for him pulling the gun on her at this point in her life, she's welcome to. But like we said in the previous video, I'm here for the victims and the people that have been silenced and feel like they have no other options. And that hopefully we stop this if it is happening so that there aren't any other victims going forward. Again,
Mm-hmm.
when the tape of the allegations with R. Kelly came out in 2002, he was not arrested until 2019. So that was 17 more years that he was allowed to victimize people. We now know it's 2021. All of this stuff is creeping out and leaking out allegedly about T.I. and Tiny. Are we going to let another 10 years pass? Or are we really going to do the investigation? So, I hope those ladies were not complicit in these actions. But also, as we stated before, if you knew and you kept your mouth shut, you are complicit.
Mm-hmm.
So if they knew about druggings and sexual assaults happening, unfortunately, they are complicit.
Well, we know for a fact that Sabrina herself was involved in the recruitment of the women because Shekinah Joe spilled the tea and let it out the bag. So she wasn't necessarily a victim, but it sounds like she took part in the activities. I saw a live last night and I didn't record it because I always assume somebody else is going to record it. I can't be the only person watching. And I was multitasking where Sabrina said she's found God. That's why she's not coming forward. And yes, she's done things in her past, but she realizes now she was very ignorant back then and very, her lifestyle was different. And she's a different person today. She's found God. And that's why she's standing up for the victims now. But she did take part in the activities and she did recruit the women. So just like I knew back in 2008, a lot of people know. But you have this attitude. Well, first of all, I'm not friends with T.I. and Tiny. I'm not the FBI. I don't work with the feds. So, I can't open it. They're rumors, right? Mm-hmm. Back in 2000, they were rumors. So I can see Toya and all of them, Kandi, hearing about the rumors, just like Shekinah spilled the tea. There's no doubt women are being recruited for sexual, all kinds of freaky deaky freakness up in T.I. and Tiny's basement. There's no doubt that's going on. And I bet you the kids are not allowed to go in that basement. The basement is off limits. So you know things about your friends, just like Shekinah Joe said, and you mind your business, pretty much. Marcella, sound off. What are your thoughts on Sabrina now naming Lauren London, Toya Wright, Kandi Burruss? They all knew. What are your thoughts?
My thing is that she found the Lord 2 weeks ago when she came out with this story. My thing is that if there are victims truly, why would they be running to her? She was the one that was also bringing them aboard. So she's complicit. So if they go down, she will go down. the jury will not care that you found the Lord. Laura London, you know, I question that. Is Sabrina saying that they knew about it because Laura London's been with Nipsey, and on a whole nother level, Kandi Burruss, she's a freaky deaky. I can give her the benefit of the doubt, but guess what? When she first came out with all of this, she only named T.I. and Tiny, and she was talking about T.I. pulling a gun on her like 5 years ago. She herself said that they took all the camera phones and all of that. So why would we believe her about these incidents? If they are true victims, if she is only reporting hearsay, if she's saying that she didn't see it. Now, Shekinah told on them unknowingly. She was crying and saying, I ain't got nothing to do whatever they do. She sort of validated. And I believe that to keep Shekinah from going to jail so she don't get to walk by name brand stores, not shop in name brand stores, but walk by them, she will tell on all of them. And you know what? T.I. is very, do I believe that he had orgies of some sort? Do I believe that none of the girls said, I want to go, or did they want to just be boned by T.I.? I just feel that there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I just don't believe Sabrina's whole story. I do not believe. I believe, and when Sabrina said on this video you just showed us that she was raped and all this kind of stuff, she should have felt sorry for these girls years ago when she knew it was going on. You were raped, but is it by T.I.? Who were you raped by? She just opened a lot of open-ended questions, and I don't understand what's going on. So Laura London, I would never believe that she participated in orgies, because you know Laura London says T.I. is her brother. And everybody Sabrina is attacking today or yesterday are the people who decided to support T.I. And now she's coming after all these people. Even Toya, I can't see her licking no cat to make it meow.
She said knew. She said they knew. They, you know, not necessarily they participated, but they knew. They're involved in this because they knew. They were complicit and didn't say anything. Now, like I said, since 2008, I've been hearing about the orgies and the drugging of the women. And when they arrested T.I. and Tiny in 2010, back then, they found, I think, I don't know, the street value was like, I don't know, like $1,200, a lot of ecstasy in Tiny's panties. She stuffed it down her panties. They are known for these sex parties with the drugs and the orgies. All these women can't be lying, Marcella. Have you listened to the other videos and listened to the victim statements? It's really compelling. It really,
yes,
really.
I do believe, but was it a rape, or was you wanted to do it? Because I know that a lot of girls just fall over rappers, basketball players, and they will do anything to become number one. These girls never said anything until now. Why now if you felt so terrible about it?
Okay.
I believe there are victims, but I do believe that these girls went up to the suite knowing what it is. They knew that T.I. was married to Tiny. They had a choice to say, no, I'm not coming there, but they went there. Was this rape or consensual sex? And they the one that put the mollies and stuff in their own mouth. T.I. did not smash it in this.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know what, because we weren't there. We weren't there. T.I.'s human. Tiny's human. Toya is human. We don't really know what goes on in people's lives behind closed doors. The only person I can swear for is Jesus Christ himself and God. That's it. No one else. I don't care how well I know you, my kids, my husband, my mommy, my pappy. I can't do it, because we're human. We're in the flesh and we're capable of anything. AE, thank you so much for the super chat. I knew it. It was only a matter of time before Kandi would be mentioned. I've been saying it the moment I heard of these Tip and Tiny escapades. Yeah. Well, I mean, Phaedra told us, you know. Bishop, what are your thoughts on Sabrina now pulling in Toya, Lauren London, and Kandi into the mix?
All it only reminds me of is the sex dungeon. That's the first thing it reminds me of. And it was came to my head. And it's not too far fetched now because these people are linked to him. And we do know the industry have their group of friends that they surround themselves with. And again, I need her to be very precise and very clear on what she's saying. Because I don't need nothing just a bunch of spouting. You know. Well, we don't know. What are you trying to say? You know what I mean? Yeah. And at this point in time, if she's not saying nothing, get legal counsel and get this squared away in court. Because I'm tired of hearing these so-called reveal videos, and then she ain't revealing nothing. Like, if you're gonna say it, say it. If you're not gonna say it, then don't say it. Say it to your legal counsel. I don't want to keep hearing these teasers because the only person that ain't teasing us is
Well,
Shekinah.
she said last night in that video, that live, that the police and authorities are involved now. That's what she said.
But we don't need no video on it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to say something, then just leave it to them. I don't need no half stories. Give me the whole story. Give me the rundown. That's how I am. If you ain't gonna tell me, don't tell me nothing.
Yeah. Let me see what the people.
Please let me say, I believe there are some victims. I really do believe there are some victims, but why go to her, Sabrina, and not the police immediately? I know that if you got raped, you're not going to immediately say, it's going to marinate on you. But now is T.I. have done something allegedly, and they're jumping on the bandwagon all at once. When something happens to you, and I do, rape victims, I feel so bad. But, I just believe that this lady has a personal vendetta, Sabrina, against T.I., and now she's coming out with this to win. I believe the victims. If they're coming out, I believe them.
I'm sorry. So the psychology of it, behind it, is one person steps forward. Now, whether Sabrina is genuine or not, she has opened her mouth and got on her platform and said something. She doesn't allege that he sexually abused her, but she does allege abuse. For people who have also been abused, they just see a kindred spirit. They just see somebody who spoke up. It's like when someone is raped, that we know about. Police officers, college campuses, and other places have what's called victim advocates. So they might go and report to a victim advocate because usually the victim advocate is a face that looks like them. They'll go report it to them before they go to the police because it's automatically believed in. Again, it's our society and how I don't want to get into the whole history, but the patriarchy and how everything has been set up, where for so long victims aren't believed. And we grow up seeing that. It's why so many people don't come forth. They don't think anyone will believe them. They don't think they'll be heard. If they are heard, they know the road is a hard road. The he said, she said game in a sexual assault case is brutal. But it only usually takes one person, and then the floodgates open.
Right.
So that's why, I know it's sometimes hard for people to understand. And if you haven't been through it, then you likely won't understand it. But that's, I don't know what to compare it to. That's the only thing. It's like if your mama is whooping you every day, it's almost that same, or your parents are beating you. It's that same level of shame. No one actually wants to say my parents are beating me, but then like maybe a bruise is left and the teacher sees the bruise and the teacher asks you about the bruise, then you break down and it all comes out. It's like that. It's like you finally see a brave person who said something. And so it's like, oh my God, I relate. I'm like you. This happened to me too. Now, yes, it's at a point where it needs to go beyond Sabrina. But victims always need a soft place to go where they feel, well, they will be heard. And then those people usually talk them up to say, let's go to the police about this. So it's not necessarily uncommon how it's coming out. And I agree that she is not the best messenger, but I'm not going to necessarily discredit everybody who's coming out with their story only because of her. And again, to me, if she was flat out lying, she would throw on and say that she was assaulted by them too. She's not saying that.
No.
She didn't say that she was sexually assaulted. She said this is why women don't come forward, period, when they've been violently assaulted, sexually assaulted, anything, because we're not believed. That's what she's saying.
Right. I just want to acknowledge a few super chats really fast. Just Cast, thank you so much for the super chat. Rare, thank you so much for the super chat. Everybody, Sabrina named as collateral damage just to get to T.I. and Tiny. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. I think there's some truth to what she's saying. She's seen these people around because she herself were involved in the orgies, and she knows who saw what and who knew what and who was talking about what. The same stuff Shekinah Joe said, she said it in anger, but she didn't realize she really gave us a glimpse into the chatter behind the scenes. You really think Toya, Tiny's BFF, haven't heard about this stuff or haven't met a friend that was engaged in this stuff with them? Come on now. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And Marcella, I just wanted to say this as well. A lot of the victims said they were in vulnerable positions. What they didn't have papers. When I say papers, I mean a green card. You know, they were illegal aliens, or they're just young and uneducated, or, you know, sex workers or strippers. So when you're in those positions, you feel like you don't have a voice. You're scared to speak out at the time. You hold on to the things that have happened to you. And then when you see it all playing out on social media, you feel brave enough to come forward and tell your side and share in, you know, the victimhood and everything that's going on. Amelia, thank you so much for the super chat. They're only complicit if the law requires them to snitch. So if Kandi had a special relationship with those girls that leads to a legal obligation to snitch, and she didn't snitch, then she'd be complicit. Well, I mean, what about humanity, right? If I'm hearing that my friends are doing those things, I have a moral obligation to snitch. That's how I look at it, you know? Maybe not legally, but morally.
Can we also not use the word snitch, please? I want us to stop using that. Snitch only applies if, now, some people would say what Sabrina is doing is snitching. Snitching is, I was out there selling the drugs with you and I tell. It's not snitching when someone is violating our community and you see it and you tell. That is being a good citizen to your community and a good witness. We don't want people out here killing, murdering, raping people. So you're not a snitch unless, now, if allegedly Kandi and Toya, whoever, if they were actively involved with the drugging and the alleged, you know, sexual assaults, and then they run and tell, then they are a snitch. But if they are, you know, people say you know something. You can know something, as Monica said, with rumors, or know of something. Like, this may have just been swirling around, but they never actually saw somebody take a drug and go in a room. But if they saw that, that's not snitching. That would just be being a good citizen and filing a report and not wanting people to be drugged and sexually assaulted. Right. So I just hate, you know, words matter, and people use certain words to shame people and tell them that they're doing something wrong. No, the people who are murdering and raping people are the ones doing something wrong. And if you see it and are not afraid for your life, please go tell, so we can get those people off the streets.
I just want to acknowledge these super chats before they disappear real quick. Nina, thank you so much. She said, for Marcella, the reason they went to Sabrina is because Sabrina is the only one to call them out publicly. Even if she found God last week, she found him and repenting her sins. I agree with that. Yeah. Lala, you gave a super chat and you had a very lengthy comment. It disappeared because we were involved in this conversation. Can you please post your comment in the chat again and I'll post it for you? And that's Lala. Okay, let me just read these super chats. Miss Leah says, this urban legend has too many corroborators and moving parts. There's some truth to it for sure. Yeah, you know, and there's some truth, there's some lies. There's a lot of things mixed in here. Shell, thank you so much for the super chat. Some of them may have gone to Sabrina because she recruited them and can confirm their story. Interesting twist. Reese, thank you so much for the super chat. Remember when Phaedra said she might have loved Kandi more than her husband at the reunion? I do remember that. Is that what she meant? Ooh, child. Listen. The rabbit hole is going deep on this case. More and more victims are coming forward. I don't believe in victim shaming myself personally. I rather take the word of the victims because there's so many of them. It's not like one or two people saying, you know, random stories. It's over 100 women and they all have similar stories. Let's just comment on that. Marcella, what are your thoughts? Over 100 women have come forward at this point. There now, one lady's being represented by Lisa Bloom. And let me tell you something. I know from personal experience, when Thomas Ravenel was caught up in some mess, because, you know, him and I are best friends, and Lisa Bloom and her mother, Gloria Allred, they tried to shake him down for some money. They really did. And I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about six figures money, okay? They have to get a cut. They don't play. When they get involved, there's some money coming out of it. What are your thoughts, Marcella?
Let me get this straight. T.I., yes, I believe he's had some orgies. Yes, yes, yes. I do believe there's some truth to those 100 women. I do believe that it's three sides to a story. It's T.I. side, the victim side, and it's the truth. Somewhere down the middle. If there was a trial today, T.I. would be found guilty. But what I am saying that there is some victim shaming. I mean, I'm not trying to shame the victims because I believe there is some victim. Do they have a time where they're going to confess? No, they don't. But I'm just saying, why tell Sabrina and not the police? I mean, it has to get out because if Sabrina tells the police are going to want to talk to the victims.
I think they're talking to them now, though. They're talking to them.
And I hope they get what they need from that, have counseling and everything. And if they're talking to the police, I agree. Get them off the street because there are some things going on with T.I. and Tiny. All this can't be a lie. It can't be a lie. But, you know, whether some of these assaults allegedly was 5 years ago. 5 years. And if Sabrina took them to come out, I'm proud of Sabrina. But we cannot ignore that Sabrina has had a problem with T.I. and Tiny for over a decade. We cannot ignore that.
Well, he pulled a gun on her 13 years ago, but she didn't stop speaking to them over 13 years ago. I mean, their fallout was more recently. They still remained friends and she was engaging in all kinds of sexapades with them and stuff like that. But they just had, you know, Sabrina might have found, you know, God recently, and she's saying now she's compelled to speak out about it. Platinum Diva, thank you so much for the super chat. Sabrina's outlet opened the floodgates to the horror stories that are soon to be revealed. 2021 is the year of reveal. Absolutely. BJ Baby, thank you so much for the super chat. When Lisa Bloom takes the case, someone is going to jail, and it won't be her client. I know that's right. Great show, Monica, and the panel. Oh my goodness, y'all. This chat's moving really fast tonight. Shell, thank you. Some of them have gone to Sabrina because she recruited them and can confirm their story. Yeah, we talked about that. Bishop, what are your thoughts on over 100 victims now coming forward and their stories sound very similar?
All I can say is good riddance, T.I. Because he sure had a lot to say, for people and against people, and he was a big mouth last year, just talking like he's for the people. And some of the brothers that did videos on that saying, now this is happening to you, now you should know not to be so quick to speak about anybody else. And these 100 victims, I hope they get the help that they need, because like what players are saying, there's a lot of guilt and shame when something happens to you. And then on top of that, you get gaslit and you get put in the conundrum to say, well, you took money, so you must have really wanted it. And in their minds, if they're underage as well, they're confused by it, because it's a guy that I looked up to as an artist. And on top of that, his wife is helping him. So I might have really did wanted this, until their mind really matured to say, I didn't want that. And it's a torture to them because they now can't say nothing because they received money. Their mom was involved. They signed some paperwork that they didn't understand. They could have been, illegal immigrants where they don't have papers, and they're afraid they get sent back to where they at. So it's a lot to go into what what all the word salad that T.I. does with people. With people, I'm gonna say people, because even when I listen to him, I'll be like, red fish, blue fish, like, sit down, he's stupid, and in my mind, it will kick in. But I can only imagine if a person is not really well equipped to know when they're hearing a hustler.
Yeah,
they get sucked right into it. Mm-hmm. And he really picks up, if this is really what's going on, the way Shekinah tells it, and the way Sabrina tells it, he's picking up people that know that they're in distress. So when you're in distress, what hustlers do, they look for a mark, because a mark wants an easy way out of whatever they're trying to do. So that's how you hustle a person that wants to be hustled, but at the same time, now you're doing criminal stuff. Now you're getting into the realm of where you're taking advantage of them not being conscious and aware of what they're doing. Now that's the problem I have. Why can't you do them when they're conscious? You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden you're dealing with folks that's waking up with other people, and you did not consent to them being in the bed with you. Right. I'll be so mad. Yeah,
absolutely. Not paid by Monique says the feds need you, Monica. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they do not. Like I have said numerous times on this channel, if you get picked up by the feds for anything, do not call me.
I don't know you.
Do not come visit me. And if you must come visit me for something, you're a family member, you got to script at the door. I mean, bend over and spread them wide, because listen, okay? Listen, people that get picked up by the feds and come visit you, they trying to take you down with them. No. Lisa Bloom don't always win a case. Ask Tierra Marie, because Tierra Marie was wrong. I mean, she just needed an attorney, so she hired one. But at the end of the day, they couldn't prove 50 Cent released that tape. So yeah, but she isn't good at she does win a lot of cases, and she's very, very good. She's very high profile. Like I said, I've been intimately connected to her through Thomas Ravenel. So yeah. I don't know, Monica. I kind of feel like you just really don't like Tip. I'm indifferent. And if he did indeed do those things to those victims, I certainly do not like him. He's a predator. No, I don't like predators. And just like Bishop said, he's full of it. His double speak is pimp talk. Y'all don't see pimp talk when you see it. Why are Black people so conditioned to believe a celebrity or a person with money? It's sad. You need to wake up. Stop putting these people on pedestals. They're not better than anyone else. They're not better than God. They are sinners. We are in the flesh. Wake up, people. No, it's not. I have nothing against Tip. All I'm here to do is present the data to you, and for you guys to take the data and do some deductive reasoning and come to a logical conclusion. That's all I'm here to do. Plus, what are your thoughts on the multiple victims now. It's over 100.
Well, before I get back to the seriousness of it, I need to bring a moment of levity to this, and I'm gonna age myself, and I don't know the age of our audience, but y'all know who T.I. always reminds me of, and I've been saying this for years. Oswald Bates. And if you don't know who Oswald Bates is, it was Damon Wayans' character, one of the characters he played on In Living Color. And Oswald Bates was a criminal who was in jail, who always used to use these big, huge words and use them wrong.
Yes.
All the way wrong.
Yeah.
Child, every time T.I. opens his mouth expeditiously, that's what falls out. I'd be like, oh my God, you're not using these words in the right context, sir. But anyway, it's what we've been saying, and I really hate that people. I know the comments are going back and forth, and so to the people who are adamant that he's innocent, and this whole innocent but guilty thing, I think you all need to hear what we're saying, and I think what most of us are saying are that we don't know, and that's why we keep saying alleged. But here's the thing. Just like you don't want people to jump up and say he's guilty, you shouldn't jump up and automatically dismiss these victims in their statements. Like, that's the thing. And because society is already fixed to say the man is right, he's rich, he wouldn't do this, why would you do this to him? You have to have voices that much louder that say, look into it, investigate it, see if these women are what they're saying are true. See if there are more victims out there. You will not know until you do the investigation. And so many times, these allegations aren't even investigated because so many people say he would never do that. He got money. Why would he do that? He can buy any woman he wants. Why would he? Every woman can't be bought.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And even if you can buy them, buying them is illegal. Have we forgotten that? The law is the law for a reason. They do whole prostitution stings. You cannot go out and solicit a woman for sex unless you live in a state where that's legal. Georgia is not one of those states.
Yeah.
So, to throw it away and to say, oh, they knew what they were going for, and consent, as we've already said, I think Bishop just said it, consent has levels. I may have consented to taking a Molly and sleeping with T.I. and Tiny. I did not consent to him passing me off to the bodyguard.
Right.
Or to the next door neighbor.
Right.
That's not what I consented to.
Right. And you may have consented to one Molly, not, several, or being drugged, like drink this and it's a roofie on top of the Molly. Right. So there's lines being crossed all the time in this situation. It gets murky. And let me tell you something, unless he's a big time informant for the feds, I don't think T.I. is above being investigated and prosecuted and thrown back in jail. He would have to give them a completely much, much bigger fish than himself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ples. Go ahead, honey.
Oh no, I mean that was it. If it's now this many people, and Lisa Bloom wouldn't lie and say she's representing someone, and she's not representing them. So people keep saying, where are they? Where are their faces? Why don't they come forward? You have to let it all play out. And if it is true, then it needs to be prosecuted. And we need to hear these women. And like I said before, we need to stop it before there are literally more trails of women that are hurt because we heard it but didn't hear it and let it go on for years because no one wanted to believe that he would do this.
Absolutely.
Again, not to judge somebody's lifestyle, but I really think people are, it's just so funny the cognitive dissonance that people undergo when it's their favorite. Drug dealing is in his past. He's beyond that. Okay. When I worked at probation and parole, when I was getting my social work degree, there was a black therapist who created his own program called Addicted to the Lifestyle. And it was revolutionary. This brother should take this project worldwide. But he was a former drug dealer who got his life together, got out of prison and all this stuff, went to school, got his social work degree, and he made his own program because he's like, people only look at drug dealing and things like that and think it's about money. But there's a whole lifestyle that these men and women become addicted to. Part of that lifestyle is passing women around. Part of that lifestyle is running trains on women. Snoop Dogg made a song, and I'm sure a lot of us used to sing it. I cringe now when I listen to it, called "It Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None." And we listened to that growing up in the 90s and thought it was cool and laughed. And some of us laughed when we heard a girl got a train ran on her and we called her fast and we blamed it on her. How do you know that she consented to that? How did you know that she didn't just sneak behind the bleachers to get with one dude and he invited his friends in? Like, it just shows how the culture is so pervasive. Yeah. So, getting fast money and selling drugs, that whole thing, it's an adrenaline rush. And that just doesn't just stop because you now get legal money and you're a rapper. So no, I'm not saying that he did it. I'm also not saying I'm saying we should not discount somebody automatically because it doesn't come in the way we think it should come. People keep asking about proof. Almost all of the statements say they took our phone. What proof do you want them to have?
Plus, can I interject really fast if you don't mind? I need to acknowledge some super chats because they're moving very fast. Major, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, sis. We all do. Doris G, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, many friend circles in ATL know who are in this type of activity, yet some of the friends in the circle do not participate. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sincere Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. Question for Plez, why did the victims not go to the police and be anonymous? I think we covered this earlier, but yeah, Plez, if you don't mind.
I mean, I can't speak for those individual victims, but a lot of the alleged victims, as Monica said, were undocumented, were allegedly underage. Others were sex workers. It's alleged that they trolled IG, Instagram models, and strippers, or other known escort and call girls. Those people generally won't go to the police because they don't think anyone will believe them. A lot of people, especially in the South, women and men, pass judgment on women who are strippers. They don't see it as a woman taking ownership of her body or a woman who just needs to feed her children. They think she's a horrible, nasty, deplorable woman. And if you'll get on stage and take off your clothes, of course you'll go home and sleep with him. And there are some strippers who are not like that, who literally just go do the job and go home. And there are some who will take you in the back room and do other things. But even if they do, even if you are a flat out prostitute on the street, you can still be assaulted. It doesn't change just because somebody throws money at you before or after. But I will say an allegation of him giving money afterward makes it look even more sketchy. Because if this was a paid sex act, we would have negotiated my money up front, not on the back end.
And some of them were regular women because of the news article that they blasted Tiny and T.I. on. You know, the white woman.
Yeah, the ET reporter Becca.
Yeah, and it goes to show you that they were picking up random women too. So it again, it goes back to guilt and shame. You know, no matter what the person does in their personal life. It's if you're a human being, you feel that guilt and shame, especially when they throw money on you and then say, go ahead and clean yourself up. You're looking like, well, I did go home with a celebrity. What people gonna think about me? Now that I'm a snitch on him, they're like, well, you went to his house willingly, so apparently you wanted him to sleep with you, but then I didn't consent to the friend, and then it's just a whole bunch of thoughts go through people's heads. So it's like they're trying to reason with it. Like, if I do tell, how would I look?
Right.
So the brain is very fragile. The human brain, very fragile.
Very true. Very good points, Bishop. Beautifully animated. Thank you so much for the super chat. Maybe people view celebs as their heroes because they feel saved when these artists give them their fantasies to vacation from their real lives. Entertainers give people mental sanctuary. Okay. This is an interesting comment by Barbara. T.I. and his wife do not live that lifestyle anymore. That's before they redeem themselves. Leave this family alone. Those women was paid for sex, nothing more. They just mad that they didn't get paid too. Well, actually, T.I. just came forward, Miss Barbara, and said him and his wife like to engage in things behind closed doors, and that's their business. So he actually acknowledged that they still get down like that. It's still happening, married as they are. And we really don't know if the victims are telling the truth or not. Do I believe the victims? Yes, I do. Personally, I do. That's my personal opinion of it, because the stories are so similar and there's so many of them and it's so compelling. Have you heard some of those victims speak? They're not lying. You know when a person's lying and when they're not. Marcella, would you like to chime in the chat?
Like I said, everybody here, what I'm speaking today is my opinion. I've never been a victim. And I feel sorry for the people who have been a victim. But what I am saying, and the community is judging him guilty before innocent, when it should be innocent before guilty. And, innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not saying I agree with him. I don't agree with what he did, because I have children. I had me. But what I am saying is some of what Miss Sabrina might be saying allegedly is a get back at him. That's what I'm telling y'all. If they are victims and they are telling their stories, T.I. and Tiny should be sitting in a jail. But right now, everybody that's on this blog, everybody that's on this panel, we don't know because we wasn't there. They're going to investigate. It's going to come out. And you know what? And I'm going to say it's fine with me. But right now, we are human. We have to be innocent before proven guilty. Do I think there's some victims that he slept with and they gave consent and they woke up with somebody else? That was totally wrong. I'm just telling y'all, we have to keep things open. I have a daughter. I have a daughter. I have a granddaughter. But what I'm saying is, please don't think that I'm on T.I.'s side, because I don't know T.I. I don't care. But I do believe that some crazy sexual things were going on. If he got NDAs and all this kind of stuff, hey, y'all, until he is proven guilty in the court of law, he is innocent.
Platinum Diva, thank you so much for the super chat. The South is referred to as the Bible Belt, and they will browbeat you for a scandalous, promiscuous lifestyle. I mean, that's everywhere, Alicia said, but what if someone came out with a lie about you, Monica? Oh, they do it all the time. And as long as it's not a harmful lie, I don't care. You can say whatever you want about me. But if you said I drugged and raped somebody, I'm going to the authorities, because I'm gonna have them open an investigation, because I know I'm innocent and I've never done that, right? Wouldn't T.I. and Tiny go to the feds and say, hey, we want to take a lie detector test. Hey, come into our home. Wouldn't they do that? I wouldn't run to Instagram and be making a video like he did. I would be calling up the feds and say, this is a major scandal. These allegations are on a national level now. My reputation's at stake. I would like to take a lie detector test, and I'm asking you to open up an investigation. Please do. I would be begging them. That's what I would do, Alicia. If I was in his shoes, I wouldn't be running to Instagram. I'll tell you that much. We have a lot of people in the chat, but there's a video I have of another victim. Do y'all want me to play that, or should we save that for another live? You want to hear it?
Play it, please.
Please? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up because there's another video. It's 29 minutes. Maybe I won't play the whole thing. It's pretty lengthy. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 29 minutes. Yikes.
Aggressively,
Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. Let me close out some of this stuff and share my screen with you. I don't need to see all the tabs I have open. Let me share. Nothing bad, but still, y'all can't be all in my business and stuff. Okay, let me see here. Let me pull it up. Okay, can you see that? And I'll make it bigger. I'll make the whole screen bigger. And I'll go ahead and play the video.
Aggressively, like I told you, kept going in and out. Like I was jumping in. I'm like, God, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. I was just trying to make it home. And the motherfuckers had the audacity and got mad because I said no. And then, back to that night, it was a lot of things. Like we were in the tub. Maybe I might not need to say that right now. That might be too much.
Yeah, you don't have to do all that. I just want to.
Okay.
I just want. So, like, has this like even to this day, like that whole experience? You know, I'm saying like, you know, because people will try to say, oh, well, she's a. I'm saying she was a sex worker and she came there for this and she came there for that, but. At a certain point, people are using their fame, their money, and who they are, and their manipulation. You understand? You're trying to manipulate, and like it's one thing to go to a, you know, like it's just the way that they're going about this. And I've never like it's usually a man is a manipulator on his own, but it's a very rare case when you have a female co-conspirator. That you're saying that you know that's aiding and abetting. So when you see a female, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, you know, she's one of me and she gonna have my back and this is that and third, and you're not knowing it's the whole time. It's a complete sick and twisted, demonic, like you know, like it's the most sick, twisted thing I ever seen in my life. Like and to hear from so many different women as to what everyone has experienced. I just want you to know that you know. That I understand. You understand? Like I understand. And in so many scenarios, the how it gets tricky is this: is because you may have came to. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you came to do this, but the other 10 things, 7 pills. You know what I'm saying? Like being totally drugged to the point of being incoherent. Like you know saying, being manipulated and coerced is not what you signed up for. You might have signed up to go in there at night and do and you know and because you told me you was a porn star. So do what you do. You know what I'm saying, doing what you do that puts food on your table. But at the end of the day, like all the extra shit is just too fucking much. Like I'm saying, and people know what they're doing. It's not like you know if they have a whole routine. And every single woman is speaking on this routine.
Like I felt like. I thought it was the end when I went home, but I didn't realize that was the beginning. Like, that was the beginning. Like, what he put me through, it was more like a sex ritual. Like, I could feel it spiritually, like, the force that was there. And up until now, maybe somebody might have a better description. It seemed like to me, like they're anointed. They were anointed to be famous. Like this is their gift, but they pervert them. It's like the power that they have, like they're perverting it. And when that man came to my door, that my daughter saw, I was at the store. I heard in my spirit, I heard God say, "That was it. That's it. You're not gonna play with God's children." And the Lord told me, I don't care who they are, how they think they are, I will crash it. And I believe that. Financially, I will crash it. And this ain't about no money. Like I said, all the victims deserve to be heard. And that's what I deal with. Like the bullying, all of that is to isolate you and silence you.
I just want to stop it right there and just acknowledge a few super chats. AE, thank you so much. Some of you may not agree about Cosby, but it was known for decades about Cosby's behavior. It was just a known secret throughout Hollywood. Good point. LaShawn, thank you so much for the super chat. And Miss Leah, Monica, you're the GOAT of tea. Fire. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to stop and acknowledge those super chats. I will continue the video.
And one thing about me is this right here. I'm not like, once you put me, once this can of worms is open, baby, I can't put y'all down. You know what I'm saying? All these women that have come out and spoke to me and opened up to me, I can't put this down. I don't care what part of my past, or, oh, you stay.
Did the video stop playing?
Yeah, no staying on mine.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all.
So if anybody on this live
the sex ritual, like I could feel it spiritually, like to be famous, like this is their gift, but they pervert them. It's like the power that they have, like they're perverting it. And when that man came to my door, that my daughter saw, I was at the store, I heard in my spirit, I heard God say, that was it. That's it. You're not gonna play with God's children. And the Lord told me, I don't care who they are, how they think they are, I will crash it. And I believe that. Financially, I will crash it. And this ain't about no money. Like I said, all the victims deserve to be heard. And that's what I deal with. Like the bullying, all of that is to isolate you and silence you.
The one thing about me is this right here. I'm not like, once you put me, once this can of worms is open, baby, I can't put y'all down. You know what I'm saying? All these women that have come out and spoke to me and opened up to me, I can't put this down. I don't care what part of my past, oh, you stabbed a girl, you did this, you did this, you did that. Bitch, I don't care if you tell me, I motherfucking had the motherfucking Pope and 10 more popes run the motherfucking train on me. Bitch, my past don't have nothing to motherfucking do with my purpose. And actually, for a matter of fact, my past did mold my purpose today. So if anybody on this live, anybody behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, XYZ, if you think for 2 seconds I'm going to stop not being my sister's keeper until my eyes have been open to see something this fucking perverse, fucking evil, you know what I'm saying, this fucking underhanded, you got politicians supporting it, you got other motherfucking celebrities supporting it, you got radio stations supporting it, you got TV networks supporting it. At the end of the day, these women did not deserve, they did not deserve the trauma that they feel today. And I'm not. 2 things you won't do. 1 thing, I ain't never been no punk bitch. Number 2, you don't ever fucking post my motherfucking child. And number 3, I ain't never not stood for my motherfucking women. That's what got me in this fuck shit in the first motherfucking place. Standing for her fucking ass. Standing up for her. So if a bitch think if I can got a pistol to my head for standing up for a woman, if you think now, and I was broken and ex-stripper and X, Y, and Z, if you think now that I done found myself, if you think I'm not gonna stand for women, then you got me all the way fucked up. And every single person on here that wants to blame and victim shame, you can suck my motherfucking dick.
And speaking of dicks, it's so many niggas be acting like they scared of him. I don't know why. But it's taking women to stand up to this mess.
And it's mighty funny how a lot of the musicians in Atlanta are very fucking quiet right now. It's very funny how the shade rooms and the gossip blogs are very, when we're talking about black women and black women pain, you know what I'm saying, and victimization by someone that they idolize, you on silent lunch. I got a real problem with that. I got a real problem with that. I'd be
happy when some of the men come forward with their stories as well, because he manipulates some of them as well. and have abused some of them as well.
Well, I thank you so much.
I thank you.
I thank you so much. I thank you so much. Like, I'm thanking every single woman that has not actually put their voice up front, because some of these women are so traumatized. I didn't even understand, like, so traumatized. Baby, let me explain something to you. We got close to 30 women right now in 24 hours. In 24 hours. We probably have way more that are still sitting in the corner contemplating, because the sick, twisted part about him and her is that, from what I'm seeing from all of these stories, is that you kind of, the way they set it up is you kind of have to, and make it where you have yourself to blame. So it's hard to even speak on that.
Yeah, and the fact that they threaten your safety. I ain't scared of a motherfucking thing. When you do the...
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. We also talked about T.I. threatening safety. Did we lose Marcella? Here she go. Yeah. We talked about in the previous video, T.I. intimidating these witnesses. And to me, when he said, if you are truly victims, show your face, come forward. So then what? He gonna send his goons to go get them after they show their face? That young lady just said, she said, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm not going to be, scared into silence. It's just very sad, this whole thing that's going on. Someone, I think the person's name's Camry. Okay, I wanted to read this comment. She goes, the only people you acknowledge is Super Chat, Coins, Monica. Really? Your coattail is hanging, Sunshine. Girl, don't I put everybody's comments on the screen like yours? And I read various comments, not just the Super Chat. Are you here with us, or have you been drinking too? Girl,
I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you, Monica.
Like, goodness gracious, are you? Huh?
You remember when I put in when I messaged you, I said they dehydrated, just like Monique said.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Miss Alexander J. Girl, do you see how fast these comments are going? They're flying. They really are flying. And I try to get to all of them, and I even read some. Let me see here. Having three.
Monica, when was that video made? That conversation between her and that girl. When was that made?
Maybe like the day after she came forward about the gun allegations, because she says in the video, there's 30 people that come forward already, and it's only been 24 hours.
Well, when did she find God? After she did that, because she was cursing up a storm.
I curse too, and I'm a Christian. God forgive me. No one's perfect. No one's perfect, okay? Karen says, block her, Monica. Really? I'm gonna let the mods decide. Y'all decide if you want to block her. I mean, all opinions are welcome. I'm just thinking maybe she's not thinking logically, because clearly I share everyone's videos. Miss Shirley, thank you so much for this Cash App. It's very sweet of you. As well as there was another person here. Give me 1 second. Let me acknowledge this. I'd like to acknowledge Angus. Thank you so much for the Cash App. She says, why is these women trusting Sabrina? She is in it. Yeah, she is in it. She is. I agree with that. Monica, you are doing it. Thank you, Miss Shirley. We acknowledge that Sabrina is also complicit. Shekinah pretty much spilled the tea and said that Sabrina was sucking on Tiny and T.I. And Sabrina was recruiting the girls for them. And Sabrina wants Tiny. She's obsessed with Tiny. So, and I know Sabrina has beat up a few girls for Tiny. Tiny likes hanging around those type of girls, Hey, listen, I'm staying out of their bedroom as long as it's consensual. But I'm here for the victims, and these girls are saying they've been drugged and taken advantage of, and that's what we're speaking on, the allegation, right? Let's take some calls. Leandra. Hey, love.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Pledge, Bishop, Marcella, Monica. Love y'all. Love that hair, Pledge.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very cute.
Oh my God.
I needed a break, y'all.
No, I don't blame you. That's why I got my crochet in, because I'm not going to miss my hair during this pandemic.
Very
But
beautiful.
This is a lot. this conversation is heavy. Like, I'm a social worker. I'm currently getting my master's in social work, so I definitely know all about, domestic violence cases, sexual assault, and it sucks because you can't get labeled as victims. You can't get not labeled as victim shaming without like asking questions. Like, I get what Marcella's saying because history has shown that women have lied about men raping women, but not all the time. So there's like a fine line between, okay, who do we believe? When do we not believe it? But I feel like the basis should be every claim should be investigated, because whether there's minors involved or not, R. Kelly didn't drug minors, Bill Cosby didn't drug minors, but it's still wrong. And I'm sorry, even if I came to T.I.'s house and was expecting sex, that doesn't mean that I'm agreeing to take these drugs. And then what if I'm allergic? What if someone dies? And then what happens? So I think these claims definitely need to be taken seriously. I do feel bad for Kandi and Lauren and Toya because it's easy to say we know what our friends are doing, like we know the ins and out of their lives, but we don't tell our friends everything. And I'm pretty sure, well, I can't say that because I don't know them, but I assume Candy's character is better than that. I assume Lauren London's character is better than that. And I assume Toya's is too. But if they do know, then yes, they definitely need to be held accountable in some way. It may not be jail time, but human trafficking is huge in Georgia. It's huge in the United States. Next to drugs, human trafficking is like the most richest industry that there is. So I think there needs to be an investigation. And hell, if I was Kandi or any of them, I would do a lie detector test on myself just to kind of clear my name, because these type of accusations will follow you until the grave and beyond. So I definitely think something needs to be said about this situation. I don't think Sabrina's lying, but at the same time, she's talking about opening up these can of worms. You need to tell the whole truth in its entirety instead of little bits here, little bits there, because then it starts to pretty much degrade the entire message. So I'm thinking if she knows a lot more, she needs to just go ahead and say it so that we can just go ahead and get this nipped in the bud.
Mm-hmm. Very well said. Very well said. I agree with you. All the victims need to come forward, but I'm being told, and Sabrina's saying this as well, an investigation is underway. The authorities are talking to these girls. Lisa Bloom is involved. She's going to the authorities on her client's behalf, right? She hasn't just been hired and is sitting at home, twirling her thumbs. She's seen the evidence. She's heard their cases, and she is going to the authorities and talking to the prosecutors. I mean, that's what happens. This is a criminal matter. As an attorney, that's her legal oath. She's obligated to do that, right, Plez? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's obligated. A crime has been committed. It's not a civil matter anymore. It's not just, well, I know with her involved, somebody is going to get paid, but this is a criminal matter. She's obligated to go to the authorities. So that lets you know right there, the authorities are involved. And say what you want about Sabrina, but she got the ball rolling.
Yeah. She got the ball rolling, and it only takes one person to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
And honestly, when it comes to celebrities, let's just not even BS. If I lived in Atlanta, which I don't, but I can just assume my giddy self being like, what? You invited me to whose house? And then you get there and then it's something totally different. So then you're like, well, I don't want to be the only one saying no. I don't want to be this. Like, it's all manipulation. When it comes to celebrities, they know they have the power. They know they have the authority. They know they have the room to pretty much say, well, you're lucky to be here. You're lucky to be even breathing the same air as I am. So of course it's going to make people think, well, did something really bad did happen to me, or am I just tripping? So I think that needs to be put in play as well, because these things don't just happen overnight. They've been happening for a long period of time.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Leandra. Appreciate you. Thank you, sis.
No problem. Love y'all.
Love you too. Bye. Thick Girl 40, thank you so much for the super chat. I need Sabrina to be as outraged with herself just as much as she was when calling out the other ladies' names, because she had too much animosity in her chest as if she didn't participate in the mess. I don't know about that. You know, I don't know.
I have to agree with that girl. What she's saying is, you know, you calling out other people's names and saying, you know, and you say she should include herself as much as well, you know, because she have said, you know, basically she kind of just put it out there, and she said she found the Lord, but I don't feel as bad as what she did. I get what the girl is saying though.
And I just want to clarify, Monica, I don't think I really got what you were asking. She's not obligated per se to go to the law. She probably is heavily advising her client to file a police report, but just, you know, all of the things that go into our profession with privilege and stuff like that, if it's not like an immediate threat of someone being harmed or something like that, that's the only time there's, you know, more of that obligation to report something to the law. But if I've come to you and confided in you as a client, I can't like go and make my own police report because my client was allegedly raped, but I can heavily promote my client and tell them that they should go and say, I'll go with you. We can do this together. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Right. She can't make the police report, but I would think that would be the first step. Before you pursue the civil part, it's great when you can win a criminal case. And then the civil part follows and your chances of winning, it's an open and shut case. I want y'all to stop beating up my girl Marcella in the chat. She's just sharing her opinion and she's a beautiful person. She means no harm. I know her personally and her heart is so pure and so good. I love me some Marcella. She wouldn't be on this panel if I didn't
appreciate
it.
I appreciate everything they're saying, but they got to be realistic that in the court of law, it is not what you're saying, is what you can prove in the court of law. And if 2 or 3 women that weren't in that room together to say, I saw this, he could very well walk away and they're still going to be victims. And I do, like I said, I really do believe it. I'm not victim shaming, but in the court of law is what you can prove. Not you saying he did it, but you have no proof. From what Sabrina said, they could not record anything with any phone. They did not go to the police right away. Is there a statute of limitations to this? And T.I., I don't side with him. I know for a fact, I know celebrities. I have a celebrity brother, but it's what you can prove, not the allegations you're making. So I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments, and I don't want y'all to think that I'm victim shaming and that I'm taking T.I.'s side. I don't even know T.I., but what I'm saying in the court of law is what you can prove, and he is innocent until proven guilty, no matter what anybody is saying.
Okay, fair enough. Tatalicious, this is a great comment. Celebs are people just like the rest of us. Stop putting them on pedestals and idolizing them, right? That's what I was saying earlier. Absolutely. The interracial perspective. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Monica, Plez, Bishop, Marcella, for having this discussion all about the tea. Yes, it is all about the tea. So let me see who we're going to add to the. We have a lot of people in the backstage, y'all. Who's going to start on this end? Hey, Leah.
Hi.
Hi.
I love all of y'all. I really appreciate this conversation tonight, and God bless you all in whatever walk you are with the Lord. I too am a Christian and believe that there is a higher power. I do believe, I do understand everybody's point on this. Marcella, it does feel like you have a right to what you're feeling, because it does seem like, wow, Sabrina participated in this along with anyone else who, you know, called in and gave their opinion. And now all of a sudden the about face because of her walk with the Lord or her conviction. In the same sense, that's what we are trying not to ask Christians to do to us, right?
Right.
So if we're looking at Sabrina and saying how, like, why now? Why are you doing this now? And I get it. But as we walk in our faith and we cling to the Creator who accepts us every single time we fall, who shows us grace and mercy that we do not deserve, this woman should be held accountable, I do believe. If she is acknowledging that she has participated willingly and recruited, I think she should be held accountable. I do. I don't think she should be excluded in any of this. For the victims to be comforted, for the victims to feel that, sorry, my puppy's in my lap. For the victims to have that comfortability with her, I'm a survivor. It takes a lot. And
it's okay.
It is okay, because what the beauty of it is that 2020 and 2021 is really pulling back a lot of stuff that the world has swept under the rug, whether it be racism, and I'm going all over the place now, but I really believe that 2020, 2021 and beyond is really having us do a self-examination. It's asking us to say, if we're preachers, are we really following what we're studying and what we're saying? If we're Christians, are we really following what we say and what the Creator is asking us to do? And are we showing empathy to others, that He shows grace and mercy to us? As police officers, are we following the law? As human beings, are we not putting ourselves higher than any other race? Are we not putting ourselves higher than any other class? With these celebrities, they are idolized, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they're women who are preyed upon because they're minorities, because they're young, because they get starstruck. But after all of this is said and done, the law needs to be held. These people who were involved knowingly and unknowingly need to be held accountable, because this is sick. This is sick. I don't care who you are. This is disgusting. And for this to have gone on for decades and decades, it can make these celebrities feel immortal. It can make them feel above the law. And if this man is trying to go into politics, he looks just like all of them. And if he's going at a rate, and again, with those big vocabulary words, man, the saying, if you got to do all of that, whether it be with money, you ain't got it. If you have to go through all of this to prove how educated you are and how passionate you are about Black people and women empowerment, and he had the nerve, the gall, to have that outside talk with the camera live, saying all women should come forward. Man, if you don't,
yeah, I know.
I feel very strongly about this because it hits home. But I just had to thank you, Monica, for letting me come on and chime on. And I was very like, how do I get in and say something? But thank you just for this moment of time. And I thank you for having this conversation and continuing to talk about this, because Bishop, thank you for just, like, I don't even know if you know, when you speak, it makes me feel proud as a Black woman to hear the way you stand up for Black women. And it's something you should do, right? But just knowing that you're just participating in the conversation, whether you're being silly or whether you're just speaking on our behalf, it doesn't happen a lot. And I thank you for that as a Black man. I really, really thank you, my brother, for doing what you do. And you've been doing it solid. You are consistent. I've subscribed to your channel. Plus, God is you're like a sister. You're like a homie that you would call just to call Monica. You're running. You're the queen. You're cold. You're cold with it. And Marcella, you're just beautiful. Your light is so bright. And it's very evident that, I'm sorry for being so long. I'm gone. But it's very evident, Monica, for your purpose. It's a beautiful lineup. And I love Schoolboy too. But this is what is right on time for me. It's right on time for everyone else who's participating. And I just thank you. I thank y'all for this conversation. And I hope I had some sort of point in this, but this is overwhelming because it hits home. But believe everybody's point in this, and I do believe that justice will be served, and I do believe that they did what they did, and I hope that more women will come forward and feel empowered. And this discussion should be done regardless of race, color, age, class, all of it.
Amen. Amen. Leah,
y'all.
You're a beautiful spirit. May God bless you, sis. Thank you for sharing your story, and stay strong and keep fighting the good fight. Keep telling people the truth, because you got spilling the truth. God bless you. Have a good night. Okay. All
Love
right.
you.
Encouraged.
Hugs and kisses to you. I'm gonna add Just Ebony. Hey, Just Ebony. Well, before Just Ebony, you got to stay steady, baby. You got to stay in one room. A lot of people have vertigo up in here, and spinning. It's very triggering with all the movement. Okay, I just wanted to acknowledge this comment real quick. She Born to Win says, so he should go to the feds to prove his innocence, but it's okay for the victims to go on social media and Sabrina because she's a safety blanket and they can wait until they are ready. Nah. Well, I don't know about T.I. He could do whatever he wants, but I was asked what I would do. And if that was me, I would go to the feds and say, hey, I want a lie detector test. I want you to open an investigation because these allegations, if you're accusing me of drugging women and all this other stuff, yeah, I want you to open an investigation. Just Ebony, honey, what are your thoughts on all this tea that was spilled?
Definitely a lot. I think my biggest thing would be, like, I understand the public, public opinion, but it kind of reminds me of the Meg and Tory situation where it's so much white noise going on and nobody's just quite coming out and just saying what needs to be said when it comes to, like, why not just press charges? Why not, go a step further and tell the authorities about what's going on? Because right now in the blogs, I feel like it can kind of, the whole story will just be off. You know what I'm saying? Like, the court, everybody having a different opinion without somebody actually taking the legal steps to do what's done. A lot of it can get lost in the sauce, even if all of it is true. Like, let's do what we need to do. If all these women come together, why not just go do what's necessary, get an attorney, go file charges? Like, hey, because it seems like even if somebody's lying, it seems like it's definitely some truth there. It's definitely like where there's smoke, there is definitely fire. And I do feel like a lot of things are coming out. Unfortunately, people like Kandi, the Monicas, I think they're just going to be guilty by association because they hang with them. I think people should lose focus that the story is all about Tiny and T.I. And clearly something is going on there. Something has happened to these ladies, if not all. And I feel like it's definitely a story that needs to be picked up by major media, because no major media outlet is saying anything about it unless it's on YouTube or blogs. And of course, when it comes to Black women, I feel like it should be heard and not just, oh, let's figure out and do some investigating. I feel like it should be taken as truth until proven otherwise.
Good points. Yeah, definitely it needs to be addressed in a court of law and not social media. But I'm going to give Sabrina some credit for bringing a rumor that a lot of us heard years ago to light. And in her doing that, encouraging these victims to come forward and tell their stories. To me, she empowered them. She gave them courage, and I'm here for it. I'm happy. I'm glad the chickens are finally coming home to roost. I'm happy about that. Just Ebony, thank you for calling in.
The only thing I have about Sabrina, I'm sorry, I just want to say one last thing. The only thing I have about Sabrina is, the only thing that would make her seem a little iffy is if she's saying all of this and maybe get out in front of it, because maybe she has some part in it too, and maybe she get out in front of it, get these women together, maybe it can take.
We've established that she was down with it. Shekinah exposed it. She was she was recruiting the women, and she was involved in the sexcapades and all that. That's been established. I don't even think she's denying it, right? She's not even denying it. So, yeah. I think she's working with
them.
I
wonder how. Oh, okay. Well, she's working with them, yes. But I just feel like why expose yourself if you're going to get caught up in it as well?
God
had something to do with
God.
it.
If you have faith in God and you are a believer, He will direct you to do the right thing. She has to do the right thing.
True. Maybe
this
can now finally right her wrong.
And it's much bigger than her.
Now she's making everything right.
Yeah, and it's much bigger than her because if it's over 100-something victims, because she's saying it's men and women. Well, the woman she's talked to, and if it's so many people involved that he's putting people in the mind conundrum, making them feel guilty, then it needs to come out because this is a big web that needs to be cleaned out. Yeah.
And one of the victims said that T.I. got mad because she didn't want to sleep with his friends. One of the friends, so, it seems like the friends come over. It's a big old sex orgy and the girls get passed around. But like I said, Sabrina hasn't denied her involvement in it. And in my opinion, I think she's working with the feds. It's a much, like Bishop said, it's bigger than her. It's a much bigger case than her. So if she can be a witness or help the feds, so be it. Yeah. Thank you for calling in.
Do you think it would expose?
I don't know if you can really hear me or not, because sometimes with those earbuds, it's a delay. You have a good evenings. We have a lot of people in the backstage, my love. Okay. Good night, beautiful. Bye. All right. Let me see who I'm going to. Catherine's been waiting a while. Hey, Catherine. How you doing?
Hey.
Hi. Take yourself off of me.
I had to Zoom meetings all day, and you would think I would know that.
But, you all dolled up too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I've been listening to this conversation, and I think one thing, first of all, that everyone needs to understand that no one is convicting T.I., Tiny, or anyone right now. What this is a reaction to allegations. That's period dot. And as far as Sabrina is concerned, I think it's sort of established that she was part of the recruitment project. But I think what it is I don't know if she has a deal with the feds or something like that, but it makes me question if she has something going on with the feds and being so vocal about it. So I don't know, but she was complicit in all this as well. Because like everyone said, for years, these type of rumors were spreading around this particular couple. And this is right now, what we're having is the court of public opinion. And it's not the court of law. And I think we just have to keep that in mind. And nobody's you might get convicted in the court of public opinion. But what matters is the court of law so that these victims can have some type of closure. So that's just pretty much what I was just thinking.
Okay, those are good points. Definitely, we're not convicting him in the court of social media, but we are reacting to the allegations. That's why we're here. That's what bloggers do, and that's what this platform is for, is to react to allegations. I hope people in the chat can understand that. Thank you for calling in, Miss Catherine. You are beautiful and very well spoken. You have a good evening. Charlotte, thank you. Charlotte, thank you so much for the super chat. Atlanta is home. The silence is deadly. Yeah.
And what my concern is that Miss Sabrina is testifying for the victims. And guess what? If T.I. is guilty, what she's doing is testifying on social media for the victims. And guess what? That will come into play in court. Let the victims talk. And guess what? Their words could be turned against them. So we're just offering all our opinions tonight. Yes, they're stressing me out. I'm smoking and I'm drinking it.
I'm going to add papaya to the chat. How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. How are you guys doing? You look so beautiful. Plus, Marcella, I love your hair. I gotta go get my hair done now because y'all looking fly. But no, so I just wanted to basically touch on the fact that it's really disturbing to me just how organized they were. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always knew to have the drugs ready. They always knew which friends they were gonna have around during these orgies. They knew where to go pick them up. You know, like, and the fact that they were able to do this for so long. I'm kind
sorry
of
to
wondering.
interrupt you. I'm sorry. Is there something making noise in the back? Do you have something else playing in the background?
Oh, yes, my bad.
Okay.
Sorry. Is that better? Okay. No, but yeah, I was just saying it's really disturbing to me how organized they were. To be able to go to a club and tell somebody, hey, you know, come back and have sex with us, but you know you're gonna go violate them. Like, that's so demonic, and just they're monsters, you know, and they've done it for so long. Then you got T.I. self-proclaiming he's the king of Wakanda. We should rename Atlanta Wakanda. I'm for the people, X, Y, and Z. Knowing that he's doing all these things behind the scenes is just like, lock them up and throw away the key. And as far as Kandi and everybody else, I kind of feel like birds of a feather flock together in a way. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I just really feel like, how do they not know? You know, understand the bedroom talks are just for, you know, you keep that private. But at the end of the day, there's been so much smoke for so long. And the fact that it's gone under the radar for this long, it's so disturbing. And then I also think that the reason why there hasn't been any whistleblowers is I'm starting to wonder, what if there's been other famous people involved in these type of orgies and they kind of have that above them? So that's why no one's really saying anything. It's not being picked up by TMZ or X. Like, who knows who would be in these orgies? Who know who they might have passed females off to? And maybe that's why Atlanta is kind of just hush hush right now. Like, they may have a lot of dirty secrets on people in these streets, which is keeping people quiet. But it's disturbing. I can't wait for them to see how this all plays out. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I'm with you. Very, very interested to see how this all plays out. And in the end, the real victims, I hope they get justice. I really do.
Yes.
I really do. Thank you so much for calling in. And listen, you don't need the braids or the lipstick. You are very beautiful.
Thank you. You always make me feel so good. Definitely be kind of watching this. Thank you, guys.
We're family. We're a community. That's what we're here for. You have a beautiful day, okay? All right.
All right. Yes, have a good night. Thank you.
You too. You too.
All right, you too.
I just want to acknowledge a few super chats. April, my love, we haven't seen you in forever. I miss you too. She's still at work, but had to check in with your family. Okay, fam. Thank you for checking in. Also, Coco Beauty, I have it here. I have to take a screenshot of it because I removed himself from the screen. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, if sex is already anticipated, then why the TV demand for the women to consume the drugs? Cocaine and Molly does not comatose you. Sounds more like they were roofied. The demand for the drugs, I mean, that's just part of their fetish, right? They probably like these girls high. They don't like them in their right state of mind to have sex with them. Some people they prefer it that way. It's, they get, I don't know, they get a rise out of it. I'm going to add Stout. Hey, Stout, how you doing, boo?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? What you got going on tonight?
He muted.
Oh, you mute yourself, baby.
I'm sitting here going, I got to remember to unmute myself. I got to remember. Just sitting here chilling, listening to you guys. It's a really, really sad situation. You know, it's like social media is a brand new avenue for us as a race, as a society, as a population, where we can communicate at the push of a button. So what would take months to get to the mainstream audience now can get to the audience within a matter of seconds. So that changes how people react to situations, how they respond to trauma, how their impulsive behavior starts, you know what I mean? Because I'm sitting here, if I have a trauma or a flashback, I can just push a button on YouTube or go live and just start discussing that or complaining about something. So we are confronted daily with a lot of information that we wouldn't normally get if it wasn't for social media. And in regards to T.I. and Sabrina and Tiny, I think that she has to be delusional or suffering from some type of mental rehabilitation to do this and not have some founding facts behind her. You know what I mean? She has, if she's working, if she's working with a full mental capacity, then she knows what she's up against. The minute she went live with these accusations, knowing how brutal social media can be, and knowing how judgmental people are, and how quick people are to make assumptions about what her motivations might be, she knew what she was walking into. And I believe her. I believe her because I think that it's too big of a risk to come out with a story like this with such a high profile celebrity if you think you're going to stand alone, if you're coming out with false accusations. So either she's got me hoodwinked, or based on my 50-something years on this earth, my instincts tell me that where there's smoke, there's a fire. And if the fire's gone out, there's an origin of the fire. And with her opening up these cans of worms, now it's going to be up to her lawyers and the powers that be to go in and investigate this can of worms and see where the evidence lies. Unfortunately for T.I., they've had discussions in the past about their escapades, their sexual experiments, and they're not shy of words when it comes to them saying, you know, yeah, they do threesomes, they do this and that and the other. And you know what I mean? If you're an adult, have consensual sex. I don't care. People don't care. Do what you want to do. But when it starts getting to the point where it's starting to become deprived or have some type of, I don't know what the word is, where you're violating people, then that's a different story. That's a whole different ball game. And I just, to be honest with you, I hope that none of this is true. And I'm not condemning T.I. I hope that none of this is true. But the way that it looks like there's smoke and there's a fire somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. But there, I mean, people for years didn't, they condoned Harvey Weinstein's behavior. Oprah was his best friend. He funded so many of Oprah's projects, but he was a predator in Hollywood running around raping these people with no genitals. I heard he doesn't even have genitals. I mean, so listen, anything's possible. I don't put it past T. I know T.I. and Tiny are a lot of people's favorites, but again, let the judge and the jury decide. But anything's possible.
Anything is possible. And let me tell you, there are skeletons for a reason. People have skeletons in their closet. Lord knows mine aren't nearly as bad as this. But if some of my skeletons fell out, I would just have to say, I did it. Yes, it was me. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. Again, nothing like this, but I mean, we've all done things when we were younger or when we were immature or poor judge making or poor decision making. And we wouldn't be proud of those things today.
Right.
So no one's blaming the victims that are coming forward for having been in a situation where they were taken advantage of, because maybe that was their life experience at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they didn't know any better. Now they know better.
Yeah. Very well said, Sal. Thank you so much for calling in. I love you. We DM all the time.
Yeah, I love you guys too. I love you guys. Pleds, love your hair. Marcella, love you. Bishop, love you and that marker.
I appreciate it, man.
All righty.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Hugs and kisses to you. I just want to acknowledge a few super chats. AE, thank you so much, man. You on a roll tonight, and you breaking up the increments too. I know that's smart. Weinstein, Cosby, R. Kelly, T.I. and Tiny. None of these stories are new. Stories the public have been telling for decades. Yeah. Now there's a super chat that I can't seem to pull up, but I did make a screenshot of it, and it's from fellow YouTuber Nosy Ho Live. And I know she's been following the T.I. and Tiny saga, so y'all need to follow that sister. She's amazing. She says, hashtag surviving Clifford and Tamika, child. Hopefully we can get Lisa Bloom to also look at hashtag surviving the Petties. Ooh, that's what's her face? Nikki and her husband, because woo child, Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, OMG. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't leave me like that.
You don't know about that story? Just Google it. Yeah.
Oh,
The victim
God.
came out and her story is very compelling. And I believe the victim. I do. Nosy Ho, like I said, Nosy Ho Live. Y'all need to follow that sister. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate and love you.
Okay.
Monica, for clarification, everybody wants to know, what did Kandi, Laura London do, Toya? What did they do?
Y'all need to watch the video. You came in late, when this live is over, press rewind and watch it, because it was established in the beginning of the video how they're connected to all of this and how Sabrina is pulling them into it. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me add, is this a different Leah? No, let's take this. Let me add Queen Cascade. Hey, Queen.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I've come in late, so I'm gonna have to go back and rewind and see what I've missed. What I'd like to say is, it doesn't to any victims or anybody that's a survivor that's in this chat, because obviously what we're talking about is triggering some people. After this live finishes, find something relaxing, something creative to do. Speak to a friend. Obviously, I'm in the UK, it's like 2 something in the morning, but if there are services available where you can get counseling or talk to somebody, go ahead and do that. People have to understand that common sense isn't common. There's classism here, there's racism here, there's elitism here that's in the mix. When I saw your stream from last night when you were speaking about the stuff that had gone on with the drugs in
Orange County.
Yeah, so when you look at those people and the fact that they've been taking drugs from certain ages as children going up, and it's been normalized, a lot of these people's brains ain't functioning the way that they're supposed to be functioning because of the consumption of drugs into their system. The other thing I'd like to say is in regards to the allegations and stuff like that, I don't know if they did this. Obviously, in some circles, birds of a feather flock together. But because of the way the music industry works, there's less than 6 degrees of separation with the majority of these artists. So they come in contact with people all the time. I think people forget that music is nostalgic for a lot of us, whether it's art, whether it's poetry. A lot of us that are, I'm 37 years old. So a lot of us have grown up with all these musicians. We see reflections of ourselves in these artists. Now, what these artists have done, if they have done this, is a reflection on them, not on us. Right. And we need to learn to separate. Yes, we enjoy the music. Yes, it has memories and nostalgia for us. But we have to be able to separate the music from the person. We've seen in New Edition and other groups, look what Bobby Brown went through. Look what Whitney went through. Do you know what I mean? Their journeys from being in the ghetto and seeing guns and violence and all sorts of things, and then going into the music industry. A lot of these teenagers aren't developed when they go into there. And then you've got, you know, all these other people that are in these groups that are showing them what normal looks like. To us, it's not normal, but to them it is. And then the other thing I'd like to say is, it doesn't matter when the action took place. A victim is a victim, a survivor is a survivor. Everybody deals with the outcome of, you know, sexual assault, the R word, differently. It affects people differently. Drugs and the intakes into people's systems can cause people to have nervous breakdowns. I've dealt with women that have completely lost the plot and cannot put their lives back together. Everybody deals with this differently. And we have to understand that we have a serious problem in this world. We wouldn't have women's rights movements. We wouldn't have had people like Malcolm X saying about the Black women being the most underprotected, and the Me Too movement and everything like that, if this was not an issue. It's a serious issue on every continent in this world. Approximately 1 in 4 women will be hard within their lifetime. If you count that number, that's a magnitude to the scale that I can't even fathom. And I've done projects on this as an artist.
Okay.
So we have to understand that moving forward, if we want to do better for our community, we have to root out the vermin. And it's okay that things like this happen, because the truth needs to come out. There has to be a way, whether we like it or not, the messenger. It's here now. It's in our plates. We have to deal with it. We can't ignore it. And like I said, the ladies, men that have been abused, I just hope that you get the help that you need when you're ready. Because everybody's ready at a different point to deal with this. And we have to also respect that.
Thank you so much, Queen Cascade. Well said, as usual. And the backstage is getting filled up. I just want to thank you, sis, for calling in. Y'all, she is a teacup from the UK. We have teacups far and wide, international. I love it. I love it. You have a blessed evening. Get some rest. I know it's like 2 a.m. over there. And we'll see you in the next chat. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good night, sis. Lakeisha, my love, thank you so much for the super chat. More than smoke, I see bombs and fire. Yikes. Oh, I just hope these victims get justice. That's all I would say. And yes, I am making the presumption that they are victims. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's just my opinion. That's not the opinion of the entire panel. It is my personal opinion that there are some victims out there. Are all these girls telling the truth? Maybe not. But I mean, we have over 100 people that have come forward, brought their stories forward. And at some point, you know, things are adding up. The puzzle pieces are fitting. I'm going to add Denise to, hey, Denise. Hey, my love.
Hello.
Hello.
Good. I'm glad you guys are doing good. So I'm gonna keep mine kind of short and sweet because I know you got a lot of people to get to.
Yeah.
First, I just want to say I think Sabrina, regardless of her past or whatever she's got going on, I do thank her for giving the victims some type of voice or making them feel comfortable to say something. Second, I think that a lot of people who are coming forth and saying something, I think that that is their platform. They feel like social media is their only way where they kind of feel somewhat safe because they're not having to show their face. They're not having to show all kinds of personal information. Then let them do that. I do believe that everyone, like one of the panelists was saying, that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So until, you know, everything does hit the fan in the court of law, unfortunately, in my eyes, until something happens in the court of law, T.I. is going to be innocent. But I do believe that when you get so many accusations with the same details, something has to be true. And I do feel like it has to be true that they're having these threesomes, they're giving out the drugs, they're making them sign these things. Are they forcing them and beating them up and stuff in the midst of this? I don't know. That's the part that needs to be clarified in court. And I hope that they do get justice if that's what they feel like they're reaching for. If they're just looking for fame or a pat on the back or some likes or follows, it's really not worth this, sis. Protect yourself, love yourself. Make sure everything is in the best interest of you and your soul, because you got to continue to wake up and go through each day and fight these demons that you have inside of you for what's been done to you, because I am a victim as well. And the last part I want to say, I don't know if this has a tie into it, but Sabrina happens to be cool with someone who is running for office or something like that. I don't know. I forgot the lady's name. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But this person has been called out about certain things that they're doing to try to get into this whole, I don't know, whatever's going on in politics right now. I thought everything was done, but I guess not. But the lady who's always with T.I., what is her name? That's a part of Georgia's
Are you
people.
talking about the mayor? Are you talking about the mayor?
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Keisha Lance Bottom. It's someone's
Keisha Bottom.
that noise.
I have no idea.
Yes, moving their mic.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I think
it might be your internet connection.
Your TV on?
It's on, but it's on mute.
You might want to turn it on.
Okay, I turned it on.
It's real. I'm gonna put you in the backstage for a minute, honey. Okay. I want to address this comment. Molly's and cocaine are upper type drugs. That's true. They must have been on something else. No, Molly is a euphoric drug. They usually take it at festivals or orgies too, because it makes you feel loose and a heightened sense of touch, smell, and feel. But if you take enough of it, it's gonna put you out of it. It's gonna make you, very, very comatose almost. And if you take enough Molly, that's why, Molly, if you take it over a period of time, it creates holes in your head. It's a very dangerous drug. You know what, y'all? We're going to wrap this up tonight. We're going to put a button on this discussion. Of course, allegations keep coming out every single day. Y'all know I'm on top of it. Ooh, we got some super chats I want to acknowledge. Bless. Thank you so much. Again, this was one of the reasons why they took away artist development classes, so predators can try to use and abuse some female artists. Wow. The industry's dirty. The industry's really, really dirty. Stephanie, thank you so much for the super chat. Let us not forget Phaedra is friends with Tiny. She was a guest on Tiny and Toya's show for years ago. It is a possibility that Phaedra was talking about Tiny and lied on Kandi about the rape gate. Anything's a possibility, but where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't think Phaedra was lying on anyone. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this up. Plez, where can they find you?
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram at scared_of_beautiful and on YouTube at Scared of Beautiful, just spaces, no periods.
Marcella, where can they find you?
She on mute.
You're on mute, you're on mute, my love. There you go.
You can find me on All the Housewives Discussion on Facebook. And for my YouTube, I'm building it up. I need 1,000 followers. Speak with your girl, Marcella.
All right. Bishop, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at The Bishop. And also you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Bishop Red Pill.
All right, y'all. Listen, I reside here on YouTube. Y'all can find me here. Subscribe to the channel down below. If you're already subscribed to the channel, bang that notification bell because we spill tea nightly. The tea is piping hot and we don't want you to miss out on any of it. Like this video while you're at it. Teacups, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We love you all. Mods, thank you for holding down the chat. Everyone that sent in a super chat or a cash app, thank you. Thank you so much for helping keep the lights on. It helps us out so much and it's appreciated. I want y'all to stay safe, be blessed, stay woke, okay? You know what I mean by that. And we're going to put like I said, we're going to put a button on this topic. Allegations are coming out every single day. Y'all know I'm on top of it. Plez is on top of it. Marcella, the Bishop, schoolboy. We miss you, by the way, schoolboy. And we'll bring it to you as soon as we find out. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.